Good evening, baseball fans. Welcome to Ironman Field. It was dicey there for a few moments. We just got the internet working here about 3-4 minutes ago, but we are live. It is Thursday night. Welcome to O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. I am, of course, the voice of the Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironmen alongside Mr. Dig. Jake, how you doing, pal?
Hey, thanks for having me again, Chris. It must have went semi-okay last week. They let us back in the booth together, so
That's right. Something must have been good so that, we're allowed to be back here. And then, again, beautiful Thursday night here, the Ironmen, fresh off a win Tuesday night over on the island against the Islanders. They're going to send Garrick Hale to the mound here. And first time we have seen the Fredericton Royals this season. Take a look at the standings coming into tonight. Charlottetown hanging on to first place here at 8-3. St. John 5-2. Ironman going to play their midway point, half the season over after tonight, which is hard to believe that this will be their 14th game. Fredericton coming in only played 6 games. So
the tough schedule for the Ironman the start of the year here, halfway through in the middle of, or I should say the end of June now. God, summer's flying by. Those top 3 teams seem to be creating a little distance for themselves in the standings, Chris.
That's right. So there's Garrick Hale's stats on the screen. 4th appearance of the season. 6 and 2/3 thrown so far. 3 Ks, 3 walks, a 3.82 ERA. Through 4 pretty gutsy innings down in Moncton last Wednesday, I believe it was. It was the day before we were live here. That's right.
You are correct.
I have my moments, good sir. And again, the this upstart Fredericton roster.
A little bit of a different look from years past. No more Wood or, the big boppers, Jody, Dave Barr. Kind of a younger roster these years.
Yeah, and some of the guys they have in there have been struggling. Estie's going to lead it off here again. Estie has not been very Estie-like so far. And there's a quick grounder to second. Maulson wears that one in the chest. That's going to be 1 pitch, 1 out. Oh, boy, that's just what the doctor ordered. Again, this Royals team has not been hitting the baseball. According to the program in front of me, they come into tonight with a .225 batting average, which is just, again, right, that's not where you need to be if you want to be competitive in the NBSBL.
No, not very Royals-like. A lot of the time known for the hitting prowess of that roster.
That's right. Oliver steps in here, and again, that's in there for strike 1. And again, Dig, I mean, part of that's going to be, they've only played 6 games. They played the fewest amount of games in the league. You just can't get in a rhythm with rainouts, and if you're impacted, they're not getting their Friday night games in. I mean, it's tough.
No, absolutely. Like you said, all outside. It's just hard to get rolling at the plate if you're only seeing live pitching, once every 7, 8, 9 days at this point for the Royals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And again, you have guys that you rely on. Adam Estie, the table setter for this team. Such a big part of what they try to do. Just not off to a very good start at all. Got to try to get him going. You got to try to get these guys in the middle of the order. Oliver going a little bit as well. It's going to be a battle, and again, this is a different Garrick Hale than we've seen before, right? I mean, that's popped into left. That is in the danger zone out there, and oh boys, Jake Cook makes a bit of an adventure out of it, but pulls it in for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here to start the game.
We're gonna correct you early on tonight, Chris. That is our good buddy Andrew Langtang.
Is it?
That is Andrew Langtang.
Oh my geez, boys, are my eyes that bad? Have I lost it? Holy dying. That is my bad there for sure. Here's Max Grant stepping in. That is outside for a ball. Grant hitting. Let me pull up the these statistics. Why is my stuff out of date? Okie doke. Doodle-doo.
Max, a product of the University of Alabama
Yes.
Division I baseball program. Prior to that, played at Canisius in
Yep.
Buffalo, I do believe.
Yes. 462. And there's 3-0 now. 462 average for Grant coming in here, has the Royals' only home run on the season thus far. There's 4 pitches.
That might be the most surprising statistic of them all, with the Royals Park, their home field, being known
Yep.
to give up the occasional cheap home run, we'll call it.
Yep.
For them to only have one as a team is it really shows the struggle right now going on with the offense.
Well, and again, you talk about getting into a groove. I mean, you have Corey Willett here, the cleanup hitter. He has 8 at-bats on the season. It's 5 days away from the month of June being over, and he has 8 at-bats. I mean, you can't. I mean, he's hitting 375, but again, you just cannot get into the necessary groove. And that's there for strike one. Very, very, very difficult to get in a groove when you're, again, I mean, they're over a month into the season. You've been to the plate 8 times?
Yeah, no, you just, as a coaching staff, you can't expect your players,
Mm-hmm.
the little amount of reps they're getting to.
There's a stolen base for Grant.
You just can't expect them to produce like
No.
years past without the.
Well, and you look right now, the Royals have one player in their lineup who has 20 at-bats. One player.
I would argue, or guess I should say, not argue, if you were to look at the Ironman lineup, they got guys 30, 40, 50 at-bats deep.
45, 41, 39, 42. So again, right, you have the Ironman players who have, in some cases, 3 times the amount of at-bats as some of the Royals regulars. I mean, that's tough. That is a very tough ask. And again, brightness here tonight as well. We have some shadows that are going to be creeping in that are going to be playing a factor. It's going to be tough. So here comes the 1-2 here. Hale with a look back to second as Grant dance around. So Grant out at second base after a 1-out walk. Hale has battled back here to a 1-2 count against Willett. And that is high for a ball, so that'll run it to 2-2.
Corey, a really good baseball player growing up, played for the New Brunswick Selects and then was selected to represent the province at the Canada Games back in, I believe, 2014 in Quebec.
And that ball is in the dirt.
Even with the 8 at-bats, Chris, knowing Corey, that he's not going to give one up easily. He's going to battle and make you throw a good pitch to get him out.
That's right. So full count here now to Willett. Full count, 2 out. And that's going to be lined into center. That is going to be a long run for McKay, and he's not going to get there. That ball is going to go all the way to the wall, and that is going to be the first run of the ball game, as Willett will trade places with Grant. So just a sinking liner that tailed away from Mike McKay. So that is an RBI double for Willett, and the Royals take a 1-0 lead. So again, just what the doctor ordered here.
Always a tough play for the outfielder with a ball kind of slicing off the bat of a lefty like that, the wind blowing that way, and unfortunately Mike, with his great speed, just couldn't track that one down.
That's one of those, again, right? Sinking liners just kind of tails away from you there. And here's Dmitry Shakoko. Definitely not pronouncing that right. We're trying.
Yeah, apologies in the chat.
Apologies in the chat, yes.
Families around. Maybe if you're in there, let us know the correct.
Shakotko. Somebody will correct me. Anyway, he has this is his second appearance with the Royals this season. He's 1 for 4. Took a healthy hack at that one. 1-1. That ball is down. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's the 2-1, and that is a bounder out to second. Mollison going to play the big hop, and he'll flip over to first. So the Royals do get one. And after a half inning here, it is the Fredericton Royals 1, and your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironmen coming to the dish. So we go to the bottom of the first inning here, and it's going to be Josh Dennis taking the man for the Royals. Dennis will be pitching in his third game of the season. No stranger to the scene here. He's 1-2, which I'm not sure how 1-2 works with 2 games pitched. Let me take a look at the secondary one that I have. So I have 0-1 on my sheet down here. Anyway, we'll go with that. 5 1/3. He has a 7.87 ERA according to the stats that we have in front of me. So we're going to go with that. Again, as you can see, a very bright, dampening sky here as the sun goes down over behind the Ironman dugout. Again, the Ironman going to try to get that run back. They put up 9 over on the island the other night, which is, nothing to be ashamed of at all. To go over there and to hang 9 on the Islanders on the road, short bench as well. No Keating the other night.
Yep.
Try to keep that going, right, Dig?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I watched that game, and they did a really, really good job of, getting that big hit. They had the bases loaded a couple times. Very, very good offensive performance. And you're seeing tonight Josh Dennis, who should be a stranger to nobody in the lineup. They all have multiple years and multiple at-bats off him. They know what he features.
Yeah. No surprises, right?
No surprise.
Shouldn't be any secrets here. As these guys have seen Dennis a ton. Here comes Mike McKay hitting .333. Has already scored 13 runs, has 15 hits, 5 doubles. So the only thing not typical about Mike's performance so far is he hasn't been beamed 10 times at this point of the season, which is very surprising, but he's going to step in here against Josh Dennis. Here comes the first pitch, and there's a swing and a miss, strike one, as Dennis pulled the string on that one.
Dennis going to be around the zone, likes to spin the ball, curveball, changeup, slider, pitch off, balance.
Yeah, that's right. He's not going to throw a lot straight. And again, Dennis, one of those guys that if he does have to throw you fastballs because he's behind in the count, it's going to be a long night for him. He has to rely on that funny stuff. Not going to overpower you. That is popped up in the infield again. Nobody sees it, and that's foul. Not sure who's catching for the Royals there. Dig, you got the book?
Yeah, I believe that is Dimitri.
Shit. Shakotko. We're gonna go with that. Again, no one has corrected us yet. So again, he looked up, had a hard time finding that one, so that one falls foul for strike 2.
That's that bright sky you were talking about earlier, Chris. That ball went up, and he just kind of threw his arms up saying,
Yep.
hey, I got no idea.
Well, and again, he's turning to that first base dugout, and that's exactly where the sun is at this point in the evening. So 1 ball, 2 strike here as Mike gets a bit of a second life. And he turns it into a base or a hit by pitch.
You spoke that one into existence, Chris.
Yes, it is. Yes, I did. Oh, it's Kyle Brown catching. Look at Colby. Colby in the chat here. Maybe we just need to get Colby up here to Be the new color guy. You're on thin ice now, Dig. The one mistake and you're in trouble here.
Well, Colby, we have a third mic up here if if you want a guest spot.
Unaware. Here comes Keats. Mike on with a hit by pitch. Good thing we got good thing we have friend of the stream Colby Lyle out there. Hopefully he's I'm going to assume he's not in attendance and he's not watching the stream in the dugout.
Yeah, Colby, if you're down in the dugout on your phone, just come on upstairs.
I didn't see him on the lineup, but hey, that would be like meta, right? Watching the stream in the dugout. And that's up and in on Keats. I was going to say Mike had a massive jump on that one. He had that one stolen easily. And that one came up inside and hit Keats. So back-to-back hit by pitch here to start the ball game. And there's 2 on and nobody out here for Jeff Watkins. Maybe we have cursed Colby Lyle, or not Colby, sorry. Oh, my geez. Maybe we've cursed Josh Dennis here to a ball game full of hit by pitch after talking about Mike not wearing any. Mike and Keats have now each wore one.
I'll tell you what, at the end of the night, if the Ironmen win this game, they'll take a couple bruises.
Any way you can, right? So here comes Watkin. And that is a curveball in there for strike one. Watkin looking to get going here a little bit. He's hitting 226, 7 for 31. He does have a couple of doubles, 4 runs scored.
It's a good night, a good matchup for Jeff.
Yep. That is outside for a ball. Jeff thought about it, but able to very disciplinedly hold his bat back on that one.
Definitely knows the strike zone well, obviously being the catcher. But really going to make Colby come into the middle of the plate with that spin and hopefully leave one over the middle and Jeff can get a barrel.
Here comes the 1-1. And that ball's right there. Backdoor slider there for strike 2. Watkin looking a little frustrated with himself, I would assume, on that one. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Nobody out in the bottom of the first inning. Ironmen have runners at first and second who have both reached via hit by pitch. Dennis set. Here he comes. And that's outside for a ball. Brian Cummings calling the balls and strikes here tonight. Dave Morrison umpiring down the third base line, currently standing out about shortstop. Jason Dunnett umpiring down the first base line, just out of your frame there on the right side.
That's a really good 2-pitch sequence there by Dennis. The slider in and then the changeup away.
Yes, absolutely. And that ball inside corner, and again Watkin was looking away. What a 3-pitch sequence there for Dennis, right? I mean, you go the backdoor slider, you go the changeup away, and then you come inside over the inside part of the plate with a fastball. And I mean, that's right there. Had Jeff in a bit of a mental pretzel there on that one. So the Ironmen now with 1 out. We'll have Jake Cook come to the plate here. Jake getting the start against a lefty tonight. And definitely has earned it, hitting 344 here in the young season. That is down for ball 1. Cook has been hot at the plate. Has 6 runs on the season. Does have a double in there. So again, 1-0 Royals here, bottom of the first inning. Ironmen do have a couple on. There goes the runners. And that is going to be a double steal. And again, Mike had that one stolen easily. Again, Dennis very, I believe the word we'll use here is deliberate to the plate.
That's a good word. Well done.
So now, Ironman runners at second and third here with 1 out. And Cookie's ahead here, 2-0.
That's a big 90 feet by Chris, too. Picking up in the back end of that double steal. Now a single probably scores 2.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the 2-0. That is inside for ball 3.
The job now changes for Cook. Obviously, with 2 runners in scoring position, a deep fly ball gets you a tie ball game, and a single gets you 2 here. Just looking to make contact.
That's right. Here comes the 3-0. Have to assume Cook's taking all the way, and it's outside ball 4. So again, the Royals going to take their chance here and bring back the double play. So here comes Nick Leggett. Nick hitting 282 on the season, 3-run scored. Does have a double in amongst his 11 hits. Bases loaded here. Bottom of the first inning. Ironman looking to get back that run they scored or gave up in the top on a Corey Willett RBI double.
If you're the Ironman, you have to take advantage now. This is 3 free passes that Dennis has given up.
Yep.
And got to make it count here. Deep fly ball by Nick. Anything at all here.
And right back in with ball 1. So Nick finding himself in a hitter's count here. And Nick is not happy as I don't think the mics picked that up, but I could certainly hear when he muttered to himself, not happy with his effort on that swing as he went down low to get that changeup that was outside of the zone, probably ball 2. Fouls it away now to even the count at 1-1. 1-1, 1 out here. Ironmen have the bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning. Dennis comes to the plate, and that is a curveball high and away. And again, if you're the Ironman, 2 hit by pitch and a walk here in the inning. The only out recorded, the strikeout to Watkin. Like Jake said, you got to cash something in here. There's a big hack from Leggett. Swings through that for strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Tyler McKay would be next for the Ironman. Drawing the start of third base tonight. Then it says the one he wants. Here comes the 2-2, and that is a number to third. They're going to go to third for 1 and over to first, and that is a double play. So Leggett bounces into a 5-3 double play, and that will end the bottom of the first inning. So Josh Dennis works around 2 hit by a pitch and a walk, and the Ironmen come away with nothing. So 1 inning in the books here. It is the Fredericton Royals 1, your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironmen. No score.
Ironmen Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Our beautiful back patio is open and dogs are welcome. We even have a special O'Don's Irish Pup menu for your furry friend. Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub.
So we go to the top of the second inning after the Royals score 1 in the top of the first on an RBI double by Corey Willett. Ironmen load the bases in the bottom of the first, come away with nothing after a 5-3 double play. Gary Hale back to work here, and that's a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Little in between there. He obviously gearing up for that first pitch and couldn't pull the trigger. Maybe looking for some spin from Gary.
Here comes the 0-1 to Sullivan. And that is down for a ball. That is hit high in the air, out in front of home plate, and Gehrig is going to call for it, and he's going to make the play. He almost. And again, I'm not going to lie. When I was a pitcher, if the ball was popped up in front of me, I would run and sit
You're
in the dugout. I'm in the dugout.
Yeah.
But again, Gehrig confident that he could make the play, and he did.
Sure-handed.
That's going to go down as F1 in the scorebook if you're scoring at home. And 1 out here in the top of the second inning. That's right there for strike one. Royals have hit a couple balls in the air, and so far they have both been adventurous.
To say the least, the wind obviously playing a factor in both those balls.
That's on the inside part of the plate. A couple good fastballs from Gehrig there. Quickly ahead here, 0-2 on the catcher, Kyle Brown.
Gehrig definitely known to spin the ball. Really, really tight slider curveball combo.
That is backdoor on that tight slider. So 2 great fastballs and a backdoor slider. And I'll tell you what, there has to be a confidence factor now. Obviously, we've seen Gehrig as an affiliate at this level. But, now being a full-time senior Ironman, he has, again, he had a really gutsy performance down in Moncton again. There, he's starting to look comfortable out there, and he's getting a bit of leash, right? That's a great curveball in there for strike one. Again, we used to see him previously, he'd be used in relief situations or situations where they needed a guy. But, now he's getting regular starts, and he's really kind of settling in here.
Yeah, he
fouls that one off for strike two.
Really looks good, and I think, like you alluded to, Chris, the confidence of being a full-time player, not having to split kind of your pitches between junior and senior, the confidence Kevin Bowes and Terry have in him to give him a couple starts back to back here, for a team that is looking for a little bit extra pitching, I would say. Really nice to have one of your own kind of come through the system.
That's high for a ball. Well, that's the thing. You look at the we talked about it on last Thursday's stream, but they played last Wednesday, Thursday. They went to St. John for a doubleheader that they split. Island on Tuesday night. Now you're back here tonight. And that off somebody's toe. That's going to be a foul ball. But again, right, to be able to have a a number 4 guy that you have utmost confidence in. You've seen everybody. We saw Walls here last Thursday. Obviously, they went down. Julio won them a big game in St. John. They kind of, threw some committee action. He had Newman start in, and there's strike 3. So a tidy little inning of work there for Gehrig Hale. A couple of strikeout look-ins. So we go to the bottom of the second inning. It's 1-0 Royals here on Ironman Baseball Live, brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. So we go to the bottom of the second inning here. It's going to be Tyler McKay to lead it off. The Ironmen try to battle out of a 1-0 hole here. Again, stranding the bases loaded in the bottom of the first. McKay, Molson, and Goss.
Goss.
Okay, perfect. It's almost like I looked at the lineup before and wasn't stressed out about the internet not working. So here's Tyler McKay. McKay hitting 286 here on the young season. And that's just outside for ball one, or up maybe. I thought I might have heard home plate umpire Brian Cummings say up there. So McKay in the driver's seat here, 1-0. That's right there for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Tyler with a couple hits on the island Tuesday night. And talking to some of the players, Chris, they said that Tuesday night down on the island.
That's in the dirt for ball two.
That Tuesday night down on the island, work the next morning was tough. They got in at 2:30 a.m.
Yeah, that's gross. Those 8 p.m. cross the Confederation Bridge games, again, obviously the Islanders here last Thursday and then a return visit. I mean, that's just not ideal. I know I would be a hard out for those. That's a hard hit ball, but foul down the third baseline.
Yeah, the 6 a.m. alarm the next morning would not go over well.
Nope. Absolutely not. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to McKay. And again, that's hard. That's the tough part of this league, right? Again, we talked about this previously, but the reduction from 32 to 28 games means you got that 7th game against those teams that are a bit further away. Here comes the 2-2. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice change up there. Yeah, you have that 7th game, and it used to be you played 8 against everybody, so St. John could be doubleheaders. Island was doubleheaders, but now you got that pesky 7th game. And, we saw it last year. I mean, the Islanders, although I will admit, they do travel very well, but they were here late. They had 11 guys last week. The Ironmen go to the island on Tuesday. I think they had 11, 12 guys. It's tough.
Yeah, no, especially at this age, everybody's got jobs and families, and baseball takes a back seat, but
Mawson hits that one in the air to right. That one is back at the track, at the wall. She's out of here. Charlie Mawson goes over the Newcastle printing sign in right field, and just like that, it's a tie ball game. It's 1-1. Well, I'll tell you what, I thought off the bat, Mawson definitely got a good piece of that one. And we watched the right fielder, I believe that's Matt Munn out there for the Royals, just go back, and again, sneaks over the wall. So just what the doctor ordered, if you're the Ironman, it's a 1-1 ball game. So Zach Goss going to step in here. He's hitting .304 with a couple of homers already this season. That's in there for strike one. Again, Goss with 2 of the now 5 Ironman homers on the season as he is pacing the team at the moment.
And Goss provided all the offense they needed in Game 1 in St. John with that grand slam. They won that game 4-3.
There's a swing and a miss at a curveball, strike 2. That's right. Again, we have been saying, again, through the 3 or 4 home games we've had here, especially the evening ones, the ball has been jumpy.
Oh, yeah.
Here at Ironman Field so far in 2025. And that is inside for a ball. And again, you got, not much of a breeze here tonight. At least if there is, I mean, I don't see, the flag in center field with a little bit of life to it, but not a whole lot. So not a real breezy night. And that ball's hitting the right field, and that's going to be a base hit as Goss lines one. That's a hard hit ball into right field. So now all of a sudden the Ironmen, after the home run by Mawson, Goss on here, and that's going to bring Andrew Langtang up here. Langtang has 4 ABs. He's 1 for 4. I'll tell you what, no stranger to a bunt. And with the top of the order looming, only 1 out here. We might see Tang lay one down here. Not much of a lead from Goss over at first. And that one's on the outside part of the plate for a strike. So the last time Brian Cummings was doing the plate of a game, there was a bit of a testy moment between Cummings and Langtang that resulted in an ejection and subsequent suspension. Actually, I believe this would be Langtang's first game back.
It is, yeah, and Langtang never shy to share his, what's the correct word I'm looking for here, his thoughts on a certain call by the umpires.
Fair enough. Well, he's down 0-2 here, so going to try to put something in play here. Oh, and he picked him off. And again, Dennis with the nice play, and Ian Morrison is going to call him out at second base. So that is an unfortunate pickoff for out number 2. And again, the crafty lefty Dennis caught Goss leaning away from first, and that'll be the second out of the inning. So now 0-2 with 2 out here. And that is, again, just the mistakes that you hate to see, right? You got a guy on after a home run, chance to turn the lineup back over here. Now you're 0-2, 2 out with your number 9 hitter up. And that is high for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic Thursday wherever you're watching from. If you're watching live on Facebook or YouTube or on Twitch, thank you guys for tuning in to O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. It's a 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the second. That is hit high in the air down the right field line, and that is a fair ball. And again, I tell you what, in what I'm sure is going to be a discussion piece in the dugout, I think Langtang maybe took it for granted that it was going to be a foul ball. Did not run out of the batter's box. And again, not saying, that he would have ended up at second, but again, that ball falls in, and we're going to have a bit of a conversation here. And I think what the confirmation is with the home plate umpire here is that that ball was touched in fair territory, which it definitely looked like it was.
Yeah, that ball seemed to be coming back at a foul territory, and that's a couple balls tonight, so the wind might just be a factor.
Well, and I'll tell you what, we did say, listen, the flag out there is not blowing briskly, but it is blowing from right to left.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just catching out of the glimpse of my eye here the netting down the third base side, and it has quite the wang in it here from the breeze. So there's definitely some wind in there. And again, that's one of those situations at 2 out. You got to drop the bat and just run.
Yeah, absolutely. The minute you make contact, again, I don't think he's making it to second on that play.
No.
Let the top of the lineup do their thing here and let Mike and Keats do what they do best. But
there's a curveball swing and a miss for strike 2. Mike caught the catcher on the follow through there. Home plate umpire going to do the classy thing and just come out and give the plate a bit of a sweep, give a little extra chance here. So 0-2 now, so the lineup back over to the top. It's Mike McKay. Langtang's the runner at first after what is being called a single. Rightfully so. There he goes. And that ball comes inside, and that's going to hit McKay on the knee.
Well, you're 2 for 2 on the night, Snag.
So after me saying that McKay hadn't been his usual self with the hit by pitches, he's been hit twice. So
I think he's going to have a bone to pick with you after this game up here tonight.
I'm telling you, we might be absolutely cursed. I mean, we had the situations last week where guys were busting out. The Logans, right?
Yep, the Logans.
I mean, we were hard on the Logans here last week. We're hard on Mike not wearing pitches. And bing, bang, boom, he's worn 2. So 2 out, 2 on here now, and the inning continues for Keats. That is a curveball high for a ball.
And just doing a little bit of research here, Chris, I do believe that's Charlie Molson's first career home run in the New Brunswick Senior League. Congratulations to him.
Wow, really?
Yep, that dad strength finally kicking in for him.
Okay.
Chris.
Elias Sportsby, and that ball is hit high down the right field line. Again, the wind, and you can see the wind pushing it back towards, and that is caught?
No, I think he...
Oh, foul ball. So that is a foul ball. So again, I mean, that's. I mean, I have to say, Jason Dunnett, the first base umpire, made no signal whatsoever.
Well, I think that ball kind of fell in between Craig Oliver's legs, but
Yeah.
that ball had to have blown, Chris,
Yeah.
from my perspective,
Yeah.
15, 20 feet back
Well,
towards the
and
playing
you saw,
surface.
you saw the first baseman. I think Willette playing first base
Yep.
for the Royals tonight. He started running almost towards the tarp, and had to turn back. And that ball again, Oliver unable to make the play, but that was dangerously close to coming back in fair territory.
Yeah, and when that was off the bat, I don't think either of us thought it had a chance to get
Yeah.
that far back.
And again, I mean, no signal there from the first base umpire indicating if it was caught or foul. So that's why I kind of froze. Obviously, the base runners were continued running, and we're gonna get a time called here, and we got some disagreements here between words exchanged between the pitcher Dennis and Mike McKay, the runner over at first. I'm not sure if maybe they thought there was some sign stealing or something going on there, but
Part of the game. If the catcher's willing to give it up, you're
well,
gonna take advantage.
I think McKay's defense was he was saying something towards Langtang, the runner at second. So that ball is hit high in the air down the right field line, but Munn underneath it, and he's going to make the play. So that'll end the inning. But the Ironmen get one back, and again, Dennis barking over towards Chris Keating, and we're going to have a bit of a confrontation here. And again, Josh Dennis, no stranger to confrontation and controversy wherever he goes.
No, sir. No, sir.
Charlie Molson ties the game with his, according to Dig, first New Brunswick Senior Baseball League home run. After 2 innings, it is your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironmen 1. The Fredericton Royals 1.
Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Did you know we have happy hours 7 days a week from 3 to 6 p.m.? Come on by for a drink and a snack. We also have wing night every Thursday from 5 to 10 p.m. Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub.
So we go to the top of the third in what was let's just say an adventurous bottom of the second, with a little bit of squawk in between both teams, which is resolved peacefully, and a home run from Charlie Molson to tie the game. That ball's inside for ball one.
No love lost between these two teams.
Nope.
I was saying no love lost between these two teams, obviously, meeting in the playoffs. I believe the last 2 years in a row.
Well, you're testing my memory there, Dig, and
I know I'm supposed to be the stats guy,
I
but
cannot confirm or deny what may have happened a year ago. 2-0 is the count here. And that ball is high for ball three.
And like we talked about it last Thursday, the goal now for Garrick is to throw up a 0 after your team just tied the game back up.
Yep.
For a very quick inning.
And again, falling behind the number 9 hitter 3-0. Again, Jack Ryan, 3 for 13 on the season, 231. And that's right there for strike 2. Ryan thought that was ball 4, looking for a free pass. That looked right there. So full count here to Ryan. And that's high for ball 4. So you lose the number 9 hitter to lead off the inning. And we're going to turn it back over to the top of the order here. So back to the top of the order for Esty.
As you alluded to, Esty slow to start the season, not a lot of at-bats, but very, very good player last year. A lot of power, a lot of bat to ball. Really hope to keep him quiet tonight.
After his ground out in the first inning, he's now hitting 100 on the season, with both of his hits, by the way, being doubles. And he's bunting here, and he pulls that one by the second base, and that's going to be a tough play. But Malls, going to be safe at first. That was a very, very close play as Mawson rolled in on that one. Let's have a look at the replay. That didn't work. Love that. Why not? All right, well, we'll try to fix that out next time. So either way, first 2 men reach here. There's a swing and a miss by Oliver for strike 1.
And that push bunt that Esty just made kind of towards the second baseman, if you can get that by the pitcher and you have any type of foot speed,
Yep.
beat that one out.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really, really tough play. I mean, great effort from Charlie there to make it as close as he did. And it is going to be a balk. Saw that one clear as day. So again, Gehrig a little rattled by the runners. That was, again, from up here, we saw that one. He lifted his front foot. Little stutter there. So maybe thought the wheel play or something was on and moved a little early. So now runners at second and third here with nobody out. And again, Craig Oliver, a very dangerous hitter at the dish here. That is in there for strike 2. So 0-2 now to Oliver.
Your hail here, it's a deep breath, and you know what you have to do. You made the mess. It's time to clean it up.
Yep,
as
absolutely.
you alluded to. This last start, very gutsy. This is a gutsy inning right here. You need to bear down and get some outs.
Absolutely. A couple of shake-offs there. Now he's got the one he wants. The 0-2. And that is high for a ball. Try to get him to chase that upstairs cheese. Oliver not biting. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Nobody out. The Royals have the first 2 men on here in the inning. Jack Ryan reaches with a walk. Esty with a bunt single. Both runners advance on a balk. And there's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So now we'll see what happens here. Watkin will have to throw down to first, and he's able to take his time, make a great play. So that is a K2-3 for those scoring at home, first out of the inning. Runners remain at second and third. And I think we're looking at, and they're gonna put Max Grant on here.
And that's the right play. Put the double play in order. Take the bat out of one of Fredericton's most dangerous hitters' hands.
And, and that's the thing, right? And we talked about in the first inning. Fredericton not coming in here hitting very well.
No.
They have not played a lot of games, but the one guy who has hit for them, Grant hitting .462. So again, why would you let the one guy that is hot in their lineup beat you? First base open? We'll see if it pays off, obviously, now bases loaded with 1 out, but again, right, they're going to make somebody else step up and beat them. And that's there for strike 1. Again, obviously, Willett up here. He is 1 for 1 with an RBI double. So Grant will get the intentional pass. He is, 0 for 0 with 2 walks now?
Yes, he is.
He stole a base and scored back in the first inning on the Willett double. And there's a swing and a miss, strike 2. So 0-2 here.
The other part of that, Chris, Grant's foot speed a little bit more than Ouellette's. So the ground ball, easier turn here.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Again, it's that I think that was something that they called on the field. Obviously, Keating came in from short, being one of the leaders on this team, saying, "Listen, let's take our chances. Let's set ourselves up here and do something different." And there's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and they will say he went around. And some chirping from the Royal side here. So that is a huge strikeout. So now 2 out, bases remain loaded here. So, like you said, Dig, a gutsy inning here for Gehrig after the first 2 guys reach.
You bear down, you make the pitches when you need to.
That's right. And Watkin
Great
down blocked that
Jeff.
one. He has battled back with a strikeout, then the intentional pass, and then another strikeout.
The confidence that Gehrig must have in Jeff to be able to spin the ball and know that Jeff's going to block that ball and keep it close to the plate.
And that ball hit high in the air, and I don't know if anybody sees it. And Keating is going to make the play, so the gamble pays off as Gehrig allows the first 2 runners to reach and picks up a couple of strikeouts and then a pop out in the infield. So after 2.5 innings, the score here from Ironman Field, Fredericton 1, Chatham 1. Scotty, so Josh Dennis is pitching for the Royals. Gehrig Hale is pitching for the Ironmen currently at this point in the ballgame. So we go to the bottom of the third. 3-4-5 for the Ironmen here. Watkin and Cook and Leggett. It's a 1-1 ball game here. The Royals scored a run in the top of the first on a Corey Willett double. The Ironmen got one back in the bottom of the second on a Charlie Mawson home run, which apparently I've never been able to say before. So that is down and in for a ball. See, now I'm thinking that I thought Charlie had one last year, but
you may be right. Let me.
You know what? Listen. You know what? I also may be crazy, as I believe that's a Billy Joel. Billy Joel too? Billy Idol. Billy Joel. Billy Idol. Someone will correct me in the chat. Go away before my time. He says 2-0. The camp here to Watkin is. Dig makes me feel about 1,000 years old. Appreciate that. And he swings at the 2-0, pops it out of play. Well, according to the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League website, he did not have a home run in 2024, which is when I thought it was last year. So
I think Charlie and Maud welcome in their first baby boy and kind of the dad strength.
Yeah, that's right. In. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It never goes away. That's on the inside corner for strike 2. And I don't think Jeff liked that one. Karen and Mike, hope you guys are enjoying the game out west today. It's a beautiful night here at Ironman Field. It's nice and cool. We got a 17 degrees here as we get close to the 8:30 part of the day. I tell you what, the lighting situation here is very bright sun. You can see out on the wall in left field. It just looks like on the stream, it just looks like a beam of light. There's a foul tip into the glove for strike 3. So Watkin goes down for the second time in this ball game. But yeah, no, the lighting here today is it is something else. Again, as we continue to battle the elements of the sun, you can see those very long shadows drawing across the infield at the moment. Just a little bit of light between the pitcher's man at home. I don't think that would be affecting the hitters at this point. That ball is in the dirt. Ball 1.
You see when Dennis comes set, the sun just kind of shining on his head, a little bit on the shoulders. Gehrig, obviously the righty, doesn't have to deal with that. So
Yeah, so bottom of the third here. 1 out, nobody on. 1-0 is the count to Jake Cook. Dennis is the one he wants here. That's on the outside part of the plate for a strike. That's great pitch there. So again, both pitchers battling hard here early. Both pitchers have gotten out of bases loaded jams. Both pitchers have allowed 1 run. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. Dennis has allowed 3 hits. Hale has allowed 2.
that last pitch by Dennis, set up by the fastball previously. Cook thinking he's going to get another one in the outside half, and Dennis able to spin that one outside the middle of the zone.
And that is outside for a ball. So 2-2 is the count here. Almost called him Mr. Cook. Holy jeez. We'll get into that in a minute. And there's a swing and a miss, strike 3. My son here with me at the ballpark tonight. Jake, one of his teachers at school. So always happy to see Mr. Cook here at the ball field. So we go to Nick Leggett here now with 2 out in the bottom of the third inning. The Ironman. A couple of strikeouts here for Dennis. Pumping his total up to 4, I believe. So Leggett's going to step in, try to get something going here with 2 out. That is outside for a ball.
And teacher, a popular profession in the Ironman dugout. I believe they got 5 or 6 of those guys down there now.
Teacher and pay center employee. That's inside for a ball. Quite a few teachers, quite a few pay center employees. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that I think that would cover probably 90% of the entire.
That
staff.
would, yeah, it would. 2-0 is the count here to Leggett. That ball hit hard to third. And going to be short hopped over there at third and throw across. So that'll be 3 up, 3 down for the Ironmen here in the third. So 3 innings in the books here. Beautiful Thursday night from Ironman Field on O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. It's Ironman 1, Royals 1.
Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Come by and try one of our new menu favorites, the tot of the morning to you. Mayo, lettuce, tomato, egg, bacon, cheese, and 2 tater tot rings, all on a brioche bun served with home fries. How can you pass that up? We have brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. until noon. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub.
So we go to the top of the fourth. It's going to be Shane Sullivan here stepping in for the Royals. 1-1 ball game here, top of the fourth inning. Garrick Hale pitching well here so far. That's just outside for a ball, or up for a ball, sorry. According to home plate umpire Brian Cummings, a little high. 1-0. And that got inside and caught him. That's going to be a hit by pitch. So the leadoff man on here for the Royals in the top of the fourth. As that one runs in on Sullivan, just catches a piece of his forearm, I believe. And that'll ring up Kyle Brown.
JK creeping in from third. Might get the bunt on here.
Now, listen, let's monitor this situation. Matt Munn in the on-deck circle with no helmet on. Will anyone tell him he needs a helmet before he... Look, he just realized, too. he just... As Brown lines out to center field. So, it's, you know, what a classic, right? I mean, he's smiling walking out here, as I'm sure the guys were ribbing him a little bit as he went back into, again, as soon as that ball's into center field, he realized, oh, crap, not wearing a helmet, flips the hat off, grabs a lid. Again, right? You're locking on what you're doing. So, Munn's going to...
Locked in here.
Munn's going to jump in.
On trying to get this at bat going that he forgot to protect the equipment.
Right. Munn struck out looking his first time. One out here in the top of the fourth. There's a swing and a miss. And I'll tell you what, Hale has had a very, very good curveball here tonight. He has kept it down and away from these righties. And it has been hard to hit. Again, he's only allowed 2 hits, 1 run. And that's a great curveball there for strike 2. I mean, nothing you could do with that one as that one comes back over the inside part of the plate.
That's a pitch that a lot of guys give up on. It's so far inside when it's at the plate that they don't think it has any chance of coming back.
Well, it has him ripely set up for a high fastball here. Although Watkins seems to be going away. And he right there for strike 3. I mean, talk about putting a guy in a mental pretzel. Curveball away, curveball inside, and then a fastball right over the outside part of the plate. Not even a questionable strike call there. That was there. So now you got 2 out here, and the number 9 hitter, Jack Ryan, at the dish. Ryan walked his first time and was stranded as part of the bases loaded stranding earlier in the game. And that is popped out of play for strike 1.
Hale being very aggressive early in the count, making sure to get up to Ryan, the number 9 hitter, and make sure that you're not turning the lineup over for Esty again.
Yeah. Well, and again, right, you have to assume, you know, the Ironmen have the same access to the same level of stats that we do. They know that, you know, the Royals have struggled with the bats. So come at them, and that one's in the dirt. Great block back there by Jeff. But again, you know, it's the classic guy struggling at the dish. I mean, make him beat you. You know, pound the strike zone. Obviously, you know, they know the guys that they need to be careful with. Obviously, they've been super cautious with Max Grant. Mm-hmm. But again, right, until one of these guys beats you, stay hard and stay in the strike zone. That's one up and away 2-1.
That's just it, Chris. You can be careful with the boppers, you know, Grant, Oliver, Esty at the top, but it's these bottom guys in the 7, 8, 9 of this lineup you have to go at and make sure you get ahead and try to put them away so that the guys at the top don't have a chance. That ball
is bounded down the first baseline foul, so that'll run it 2-2, and that's right. I mean, and you know, again, and we have seen this with the Royals, especially the Royals on the road. You know, again, a light crew here. I believe they only have 11 guys in the dugout tonight. You know, they several affiliates in the lineup tonight as well. So again, right, you know, you get away from the Esty, Oliver, Grant, Willette section of the lineup, you're going to make these 5 through 9 guys beat you. So here comes the 2-2. And that is right there for strike 3. So Ryan goes down. So another tidy inning of work for Hale as he lets the leadoff man reach with a hit by pitch and then bounces back quickly. Halfway home here at Ironman Field, it is your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironman 1, the Fredericton Royals 1, and it is time dig for Ironman Who Am I Trivia. Brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. We got a fresh question. I have not given Dig any hints as to what the question might be. Only 3 Ironman, Dig, can call themselves members of the 50-plus Homer Club. Don't tell me who your answers are, but can you identify the 3 members of the Ironman 50-plus Homer Club? We'll be back in the middle of the 5th inning with the answer. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Here's me, Tyler McKay leading it off for the Ironman. 1-1 ball game. Again, another Thursday and another tight ball game here from Ironman Field. We've had 2 runs scored, 1 in the top of the 1st on a Corey Willett RBI double. Charlie Mawson answered in the bottom of the 2nd with a solo home run. Wonder who Dig's waving to here. He's got a fan club growing already. 2nd stream in, he's already got groupies here in the press box.
I think that is the ladies dealing with the 50-50 here.
Oh yes, and that is hit high in the air to left field. That is going to be a tough play, a long run, and it's dropped. So again, a long run there, and I thought.
It looked like Ryan
was under it.
Yeah, it looked like he was camped under that ball.
And
maybe, that wind making a bigger difference than us up here kind of thought it was going to.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a long run. And again, obviously, like, that ball's high in the air, but obviously the sun beating right in his face at this point. But either way, that's going to go down as an E7. So McKay is the first base runner here of the inning. First error of the ball game for either team. So Ryan charged with an error on the fly ball. And that ball is in the dirt. And here's Charlie Mawson. Brent Grant with some pretty good guesses here in the chat. Hang around for an inning and find out if he's right.
What a nice time for Charlie's 2nd career home run right here.
I tell you what, is he him? That ball's down for ball 2. Let's not lose it here either. Lefty on lefty violence with that home run.
Unbelievable action. Yeah.
Dad strength, lefty on lefty violence.
I mean,
what's happening here? 2-0 here to Charlie. And that's right down Broadway for strike 1. Is Charlie just getting a look here, taking a strike? Maybe going to try to put something through that big hole on the right side of the infield, as Willett having to hold McKay on over at first. Again, all the power at the bottom of the order here for the Ironmen. Mawson, you got Goss on deck with a couple of bombs. Here comes the 2-1, and that's a curveball in there for strike 2. Not the one that Charlie was looking for.
Grant even at third base. Try to get that ball quick. Mawson obviously a pretty fast runner, so it's going to be hard to turn the double play on him.
Here comes the 2-2. And that is popped up. It's going to be a tough play, and that is going to be caught. Kyle Brown able to track that one down. So that'll be out number 1. So Mawson pops out to the catcher. And that'll bring up Goss. Goss with a single his first time? Yes, sharp single into right field.
And then was promptly picked off by
Yes,
Goss.
promptly picked off. That's right. So runner at first, 1 out here. McKay on over at first after the error by left fielder Jack Ryan. That ball hit hard. My gosh, but foul down the right field line.
Got the pitch he was looking for, I think, there, Chris.
Yep.
Just a little bit out front. Keep those hands back. You know that he doesn't have the fastball to beat you. Work the big part of the field here.
That's right. And again, Goss has shown some power here. A couple of home runs in only 23 ABs. Hit a hard single back in the second. There's a mighty hack at that curveball. Swings through it for strike 2. Quickly down 0-2 here. So again, 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Again, you can see a little bit of the sun now, mostly just covering left field. And there's a foul ball. Brown going to go out here, just give a quick sec. Count remains 0-2. Oh and 2 here. 1 out. Bottom of the 4th. McKay over at first. Dennis has the one he wants. Comes set and he throws it in there. That's a foul tip into the glove for strike 3. So Goss goes down, swinging, and that'll bring up Lantang here, the number 9 hitter. So Lantang steps in here. Again, trying to turn the lineup over. Make something happen here with 1 out, or 2 out and 1 on. That's a curveball in there for strike 1. Looked like it might have been a little up. Here comes the 0-1. That's in the dirt. And McKay not going anywhere there.
Good block by Brown there to make sure that Tyler couldn't scamper up to second base.
Yeah, absolutely. Limiting the 90 feet. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. 2 out here, having a guy at second could get a good jump. And then Brown calls time here. Maybe didn't like what he put down. Trying to restart the sequence. Now Dennis has the one he wants. That one's in the dirt as well. Another great block. So 2 balls, 1 strike here.
Both catchers here tonight doing a tremendous job of bailing their pitchers out on those 58-foot breaking balls to make sure that they're not getting back to the screen and giving away free bases.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's a must with the way these guys pitch. There's a throw over to first. Again, obviously Dennis with a lot of off-speed stuff. Hale has relied very heavily on the curveball here tonight, so good to have, you obviously rely on your catchers to keep that ball in front. 2 balls, 1 strike here to Lantang. That ball is down, so that'll be 3-1. And boy, oh boy, would a walk not be a fantastic outcome here for the Ironmen and turn it back over to the top of the order for Mike McKay. 3 balls, 1 strike here, 2 out, bottom of the 4th inning. Here we come. That's there for strike 2. Lantang taken all the way. So full count, 2 out now. A little change in the umpire signs here.
McKay going to get the running start now. You got to make sure, if you're Tyler, that he's to the plate and he doesn't try that quick pickoff move.
That's right. And there's a ball hit out to second. And McKay, trying to leap over the ball, falls down. But Oliver makes the play 4-3 to first, so that's going to end the inning. So that'll be nothing for the Ironmen here in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the 5th. It is 1-1 here on O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live.
Ironmen Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. If you are looking for a space to host an event, our upstairs area has seating for 40 for your grad party, baby shower, business meeting, or private party. What better way to host than in a Miramichi historic landmark with awesome food and drink? Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub.
Little reminder here, folks. We're going to reveal the trivia answer in the middle part of this inning. But for those of you who might have missed it, 3 Ironmen are members of the 50-plus Homer Club. Who are they?
Putting my perfect record on the line here, 1-0.
Yeah, it is. You're going to have to. And I'll give you a chance to answer. So we will have the answer after this half inning. The 3 Ironmen who are in the 50 Homer Club. Do you know who they are? We've had some really good answers in the chat. We've had some really good answers in the chat.
So many good
One
players.
of them is obvious, Ironman legend. Right?
Yes.
One of them is obvious. Has to be.
See, the thing that stumps me is the 90s were the metal bat era. And I wasn't around until 96, so I know there's one or two that predate me for sure.
Well, you're 3 outs away from finding out if you're right or wrong, pal. So we'll get Diggs' answers here when we get to the middle of the inning. So top of the order here in the top of the fifth, third time through here for Hale. 1-1 ball game, and that is going to be inside, and that's going to catch Esty in the jersey. So that is a unfortunate hit by pitch. Yes, Kevin Bowe is definitely a member of the 50-plus Homer Club, given up in batting practice. They'd probably be closer to 500.
That's great BP. If guys are hitting home runs, you're throwing strikes.
That's a good point, Dig. Spoken like a hitter. Right? That is high for ball one. So Hale with his second hit by pitch of the ball game, first pitch of the inning. So now it's going to be Oliver and then Max Grant here.
Between the two teams, that's 5 hit by pitches on the night already. We might have put a curse on this game.
We did.
As you
Listen,
said.
I'll own it. I will own that 100%. We brought it up early about runner going here, and that's going to be a throw down, and it's going to be high. So that will be a stolen base. Was in there for strike one. So stolen base there for Esty. No stranger to the stolen base. So now runner in scoring position with nobody out here for the heart of this Royals order with Oliver, Grant, and Willette. Hale with a long look out here on the 1-1. Mawson and Keating both in and out. And that's a curveball right there for strike two. And I'll tell you what, I have been massively impressed with Hale's curveball in this baseball game.
Yeah, as I said earlier, Hale can really spin the baseball. He's got the arm slot for it, kind of over the top, and he really produces a lot of RPM.
He's been working it in and out here. 1 and 2. See if he goes back outside with it here. Nope, tries to go back inside. And again, Oliver trying to wear one there, obviously. Again, the Royals, again, no fear in standing in front of that curveball. Obviously, it's a bit of a slower curveball, but again, Hale has been moving it in and out very well. His height with it has been very consistent, but he's been able to move it inside out. So there's a swing and a miss, strike three, and that's a throw down to third. So,
I think that ball took a bite out of Esty.
That did hit him in the, or I don't know if it was the ball or if it was the slide. I think he might have jammed his hand in at third base, because I think it was I think the ball hit him in the kind of in the midsection area, but he's favoring what looks to be his right hand. So it's a strikeout for Hale, and we're going to get time down here at third base, and Kevin Bowes is coming out here.
No stirring in the Ironman bullpen just off your screen to the right, though. They're gonna let Hale kind of work through this himself.
Yeah, so this is more of a strategic meeting here. So Oliver strikes out there, and Esty steals third. Again, he appears to be okay. Might have just jammed his hand sliding into the base. And
So many little bones in the hand, Chris. You go in too hard, and it's very easy to put yourself on the shelf for 5-6 weeks.
Yes. So I think the discussion here is: are we going to see another Max Grant free pass? Again, I think the answer is going to be no.
I like that confidence in Gehrig. He says, no, I want Grant. I want to not put another guy on base here. Let me go get the out.
So the Ironmen going to play the infield in here. Again, I have a hard time believing Max Grant's going to get anything real good to hit here.
Oh, yeah.
First base open, 1 out in the inning. And that ball's in the dirt, and it's going to be blocked by Watkin. It does squirt away, but not far enough for SD to challenge. And again, maybe this is a situation where you give Hale maybe a pitch or two to try to get ahead. I think if you see it go 2-0 here, I think you're going to see the four fingers be put up.
Yeah, no, at that point,
And give him, yeah, that's right. You're not going to give in to, again, the most dangerous hitter in the Royals lineup. And that ball is fastball on the outside part of the plate, and that's going to be fouled out of play. So 1-1. So again, some confidence being shown here. Grant 0 for 0 in the game, was walked once intentionally, once not intentionally. Scored a run back in the first, the only Royals run of the game, on a Corey Willett RBI double. And that ball right there for strike 2 on the inside part of the plate at the bottom of the zone. A great location for a pitch there. Now, G ahead here, 1-2.
You've thrown him a strike to both sides of the plate with the fastball and the curveball. You gotta go anywhere.
57-foot curveball here, I think, would be the play. And that one down and in, and you see Grant even sticking the knees out
Looking
a little
to
bit,
get, yeah.
trying to maybe cheat one there. Again, the Royals have not shown any fear with wearing one here tonight. 2-2 now is the count. And that ball is hit high and deep down the right field line. Goss is going to give it a run. He's going to make the play and the throw to the plate, but that is going to be a sac fly. So Goss does make the play in foul territory, but that will be a sac fly for out number 2. And the Royals take a 2-1 lead. And again, now listen, I am not a fan of giving up outs,
Especially with that hitter at the plate.
but if the Royals win this game 2-1, is the theme going to be maybe we let that fall foul?
I think that's a play. It's close enough to the line. If you're Goss, you almost have to take it because if it falls in,
That's a foul back from Willett.
there's probably a runner on first. The run scores anyway.
Again, I hate the idea of, again, that's a deep fly ball. That's 290, 300 feet away from home. Adam Estey's scoring on that every time.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the idea of giving Grant another pitch there.
Oh, absolutely.
You absolutely take the out, and you trust your offense to get you a second run. There's a swing and a miss for Willett for strike 2. I know we did hear a couple of call-outs there to let it drop. But again, I absolutely despise that strategy.
Well, you said it yourself at the top of the program. Grant hitting 462.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a guy you want to give another fastball to.
Again, top of the 7th, bottom of the 7th.
Sure. Yep.
Different situation,
Yep.
right? The Ironmen have 9 outs to play with at the plate. You got to trust that your guys can score a second run.
Oh yeah, and I think if we had a mic in the dugout, the boys in there saying we had to score one anyway.
Strike 3. So Hale battles back and strikes out Willett looking. But the Royals do get one on a Max Grant sac fly. And it will be the Royals 2, the Ironman 1. So moment of truth on Ironman Who Am I Trivia.
Nervous.
Only 3 Ironmen have ever clubbed 50-plus homers with the franchise. Mr. Dig,
Yes.
who are they?
Okay. I'm gonna knock one right off rip. Ironman great. Some say the best player in Ironman history. Cuffy McLaughlin for sure.
Okay, sure.
I'm gonna guarantee Cuffy.
Okay.
Another. I watched this guy play for a lot of years, a lot of power. I'm going to go the catching phenom, John Saunders.
Okay.
And now the third one is tricky. The metal bats before 95 are really giving me pause. So many great hitters, Troy Godfrey, John Can. But I think I have to go Big John Can as my third.
Okay, so there are 3 members of the Ironman 50-plus Homer Club with the franchise. Who are they? Covey McLaughlin, John Saunders, and Maddie Jenkins.
I apologize to Maddie. I should have known that.
Brent Grant put her together in the chat here.
Well done, Brent.
I'll tell you what, he doubted himself along the way.
A couple different answers.
He figured it out. So thank you guys again. Ironman Who Am I Trivia every Thursday night here on Ironman Baseball Live. We'll be back in a minute with the bottom of the 5th. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's going to be Mike McKay. So again, Ironman now down 2-1, but this is the situation you want to be in. You got the top of the order and likely to have the top of the order again at the bottom of the 7th, right?
Yep, exactly.
Obviously, you're hoping that you don't go over the rest of the way.
Also, the third time that this top of the order is going to be able to see
That's
what
outside for ball 1.
Dennis is offering tonight.
Absolutely.
Going to have an idea what they're kind of looking for, what the pitch shapes are tonight for Dennis.
We do have a bit of stirring. It looks like Jake Waugh going down to the Royals bullpen here. That's in there for strike 1. It's New Brunswick Senior Baseball League veteran Jake Waugh.
Your mic here, excuse me.
He takes that outside for ball 2. You got the hotline working, Dig. You got people texting you that they're upset that you blew one here.
Well, I just received a message from Humanitarian of the Year, Max Jardine.
Oh, wow. Have you hit the big time? That's strike 2. I
apologize to Max, I should have known. You are right. John Can, Newcastle Cardinal great.
And that's what we were saying, right? John Can. John Can. I will say John Can, a popular answer in the chats on YouTube and Facebook as well.
I don't feel as bad, though.
That's inside for ball 3. And again, the thing is, right, John Can, popular answer in the chats, but just not enough. Again, if you added his Newcastle and Chatham homers together.
Oh, exactly.
But that was not the question, Dig. So big X for you.
Got me on a technicality, I think.
Here comes the full count pitch. And that is hit hard to third. Going to have to back up on it, but a strong throw across the diamond, and he's going to be out at first. A close play over there, but a nice play by Max Grant. That'll be out number 1.
Now it is shortstop number 8, Chris.
You can head down. So here comes Keating with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th after McKay grounds out. That ball is outside for ball 1.
Heats 0 for 1 on the night with a hit by pitch and flew out to the right fielder.
Yeah, Ryan, that's right. I feel like Jake Waugh has been around forever. Here's the 2-0, and that's down for ball 3. Ironman looking for a base runner here, and again, right, with someone like Keating, obviously Dennis does have the good pickoff move, but is quite deliberate to home plate, so a single could very easily turn into a double here. And that ball's in there for strike 1. So 3 balls, 1 strike.
If you're Chris now, you still have 2 to play with. You know your strengths. You know where you like the ball.
Yeah.
Make sure you get one in the happy zone and take a good cut.
That's right. Here comes the 3-1. And that is high and tight for ball 4. Again, you know what? I will say, surprised no one guessed Tom Burns. Again,
Tommy hit some
another
long home runs.
another guy who, if you added his Newcastle home runs to the mix,
He'd be in that class too.
potentially.
Yeah, no,
But
absolutely.
again, I am a little surprised. What I have to say, as the person who puts it together, my initial thought was Tom Burns would be in there. But
Yeah, no, that would have been a great guess too. So many good players to pick from.
oh, absolutely.
What a rich history that
Absolutely,
the Ironmen have.
absolutely. And he's going to throw over to first. And another throw over to first here. So again, obviously Dennis concerned about the potential of Keating trying to pick up 90 feet here. Speaking of records, again, Keating has not had any doubles yet. Still 3 doubles away from the all-time record. A bit of a quick pitch there, and look out, Kevin. But hey, heck of a play by Isaac Edwards on the short hop down the left field line there. I gotta say, listen, you know, as a Isaac Edwards obviously has been with the Royals for a while. I don't know if he still does, but last year worked at the Kingswood Golf Course. I went down there for a bachelor party with some friends of mine, and I had injured my shoulder. For those of you listening, you probably are already aware of this. Throw over to first. So obviously I paid for the stay and play because, you know, I didn't want to put the other guys out, but obviously I could not play golf. Isaac, great guy, comped me 18 holes in a cart at Kingswood for on my chrono golf. So I can go down there anytime.
A stand-up guy, Isaac is.
Small world, right? So big shout out to Isaac. Great play down in the bullpen there on the short hop. And that ball hit down. I don't think he's going to catch that one. As, oh, boys, that just skirted between about 4 cars.
Could have been an expensive foul ball right there by Watkin.
So, again, Watkin with a couple of hard hit balls, but out in front of both of them. Watkin has struggled a little bit here tonight. 0-for-2, 2 Ks, 1 looking, 1 swinging. And now he's down 0-2 here. Have to think we're going to see change up low and away here. Throw over to first. And again, you can see at this point of the evening, folks, as we just passed the 9 o'clock hour, most of the sun has left the field. Still a little bit of remnants there out on the monster in left field. Here comes the 0-2, and that is down for a ball. That was the changeup.
If you're Dennis here, even though you have Jeff 1-2, you can't let your focus kind of drift to Chris at first base, because if you groove one, Jeff has all the ability in the world to put you down 3-2 in this game.
Yeah, you can't take it for granted. And that ball is hit hard, and that's going to be a base hit. So the Ironmen have a couple on here. Again, Watkin, who had a couple of hard hit foul balls, sharply lines that one into left field for a base hit. So 2 on with 1 out here, and that might do it for Josh Dennis here. As we got time called here, and we're going to get a visit. As always, folks, we want to thank you all for watching. If you're watching the stream on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, we greatly appreciate you tuning in tonight to the stream. We want to thank, as always, O'Donaghues Irish Pub for all of their support over the last couple years. And again, this was a pretty quick visit. Again, I will say, Wah does look ready down in the Royals bullpen. Again, you have to think Dennis obviously being left in to face the lefty, Jake Cook here. Jake over here flipping through Buzzard's history of the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League book. There's a foul ball.
Trying to get an answer for Max. He asked how many games John Cam would have played with the Ironmen.
Oh, there you go. Well, I tell you what, I don't know if it has comprehensive. You have to look to see if it does, or you have to go season by season here and figure it out yourself.
Yeah, it'll be some math involved. That's okay.
Like I said, if I had access to the Ironman file that's on my work computer, unfortunately, I have to get myself some access on the computer here at the field. Hold on, let me call down to the dugout and get Mike McKay on the case here.
Yeah, he has.
He's just chilling on the bench. So 0-1 here to Jake Cook, first and second. Ironman down 1 here, bottom of the 5th. A very elongated pause here. I'm not sure what we're waiting for, but now we're locked in. Pause, long one, and now Dennis finally delivers, and that's going to be on the inside part of the plate for strike 2. I don't think Cook liked that one. Felt like maybe it went around the plate, and now he's in the hole 0-2. Again, Ironmen need to cash in here. Keating reached via the free pass. Watkin with a single.
Good speed on the bases.
And that is hit hard into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Keating is going to score with ease. And Watkin will get to third with ease. And the Ironmen have tied the ball game on a clutch piece of hitting by Jake Cook. It's 2-2. And again, right, taking advantage of the speed on the base pass. As soon as that ball gets down the right field line, I mean, that's easily a tie ball game. Watkin picks up the extra 90 feet. So now you're at runners at the corners here with 1 out. And we will see a long look down to the bullpen. We're gonna get a visit to the mound.
A meeting of the minds.
And again, Royals bench trying to get a signal down to the bullpen to see if Wa's ready. And that's going to do it. He's just biding his time, and that's going to do it for Josh Dennis in this ballgame. So the second visit to the mound will close the book on Josh Dennis here. And we're going to see Jake Waugh make an appearance here from the bullpen. So Josh Dennis is going to leave the game here in the bottom of the 5th inning after allowing the tying run. He will depart having allowed 2 runs on 5 hits to this point and will be responsible for runners at first and third, sorry. And Jake Waugh will be brought in here and asked to try to clean up his mess. So we're going to let Waugh get some warm-ups in. We'll be right back and continue the bottom of the 5th inning here on Ironman Baseball Live, brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. So we're locked back in here. So Jake Waugh will jump into the game here. Waugh in the season has thrown 3 2/3 innings. Has allowed a couple runs and in 4 hits in 18 batters faces, a 3.82 ERA. And he's going to inherit 2 runners here and have to face Nick Leggett with runners at first and third. And he does the little step off with the other foot. That was so, and again, we got some heated chatter here. Again, I think Waugh did the little
trick play.
The little league make it look like you're going to throw up in the windup and do the step up. I used to do that back in midget, but you're not allowed to say U18. My geez, my apologies there. There's the first pitch of Leggett. That's in the dirt for a ball. But yes, he tried the old little league
Catch Cookie sleeping.
He almost had him.
That was one of those plays where it just looked so weird. You gotta assume something went wrong there. There was a balk or there was something, but
It's
A
not.
little trickery.
Yep. So 1-0 here to Leggett. And that's high and away for a ball. And again, right, Jake and I were talking about it as Wah was warming up. Very limited bench. The only option the Royals have at this point would be Isaac Edwards and I guess the DH, Shane Sullivan. So need some strikes from Wah here, and that's outside for ball 3. That's not close.
A little bit of stirring in the Ironman bullpen just down the right field
And
line.
almost on cue, Isaac Edwards pops out of the dugout and is heading down to warm up. And we have Zach Goss warming up down the line for the Ironman. And that's in the dirt, ball 4. Or not in the dirt, sorry, but outside. So a 4-pitch walk as Wah comes into the game. And again, none of those pitches particularly close.
No competitive pitches there from Wah.
So now the Ironmen, once again in this ballgame, have the bases loaded with now 1 out. And Tyler McKay coming to the dish. And Edwards, I tell you, getting warmed up with quickness down there. And I'll tell you what, just popping out of the Ironman dugout and starting to stretch is import Julio Hernandez. So some chess games being played on both sides here. But it's a 2-2 ball game here at the bases loaded. And that's in the dirt, and that's going to get all the way to the screen. And that is going to give the Ironman the lead. So a wild pitch. And again, we talked earlier about how the catchers had done such a good job in this game. And I'll tell you again, obviously that pitch in the dirt, but that's one where you hope your catcher can, that's right through the 5-hole.
Yeah, that's on the plate. The ball's left and right. The catchers obviously have a tougher time, but if you're Brown, I think that's a ball that he's going to want back. 9 times out of 10, he
I think
smothers.
so, yeah. I think so. I think that's one now where you gotta set that aside and you gotta bounce back here because now you have runners at second and third, still with 1 out. Royals bring the infield in on the grass. And that is down for ball 2. 6 pitches from Jake Wah. Not a single one of them has been a strike. So if you're Tyler McKay, she might be red light central here. And that is high for ball 3. And Wah not happy with that one. And Wah not a...
You're into the game for 7 pitches. You haven't thrown a competitive strike yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to
Yeah.
be barking at the umpire is going to do what you think it's going to do.
That's one of those maybe got to look in the mirror type things. Yeah. And Wah not, and that's gonna, and I'll tell you what, Wah is all out of sorts out there. And I'll tell you what, Wah is putting himself in a scenario, and that's going to do it for Tyler McKay. As we're going to get a pinch runner, is Adam Wenzel going to come off the bench here to run? So McKay draws the 4-pitch walk, and he will depart in favor of a pinch runner. A job well done for Tibbs, some would say.
Yeah, great night. Go in, get your rest, and you let the young lads run around the bases now.
So now the Royals, at least on the plus side, they do get the double play back. They're going to keep the infield in here and try to cut the runoff at the plate. And that is outside for ball 1. Jake Wah has thrown 9 pitches. Not a single one of them has been a strike. And again, he has had issues with the strike zone, and we're going to get time called here by Max Grant is going to come in.
Maybe trying to get Isaac Edwards a few more pitches down in the bullpen
without wasting a pitching mound visit.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, this is a situation you just can't have. You come into a game. Yes, you're inheriting a bad situation. Obviously, that wild pitch, that run is charged to Dennis because it was an inherited run.
Yep.
Cook over at third also would be a Dennis inherited run as well. But you can't come out of the bullpen and throw 9 balls.
No.
It's
just not a recipe for success.
No, absolutely not.
Doesn't matter what level.
That is in the
what
dirt
league.
for ball 2.
Relievers coming into the game.
Yeah. And again, this is the disadvantage you place yourself at. You travel to Chatham on a Thursday night with a short bench.
Mm-hmm.
But again, right, it's you got to trust the guys that you have. And here comes the 2-0. And that one is right there for a strike. So the first strike from Jake Wah, 11 pitches into his appearance. So now Mawson has to take a look here. Again, Royals at the infield in. And that ball is down for a ball. So that'll be 3-1. And I tell you what, not real comforting body language out there. He knows he's fighting it right now.
And if you're Charlie, there is one pitch and one pitch only on your mind right now.
And that isn't
That's
it.
not it.
And that's ball 4, and that'll make it a 4-2 ball game.
I think that's going to spell the end of the night for Jake Waugh, as Mark McNevin makes the long walk out to the mound.
We will see. This is his first visit. And again, and that is going to do it. So Jake Waugh comes into the ball game. He faces 3 hitters. He throws 13 pitches, 12 of them balls, 3 consecutive walks, a wild pitch mixed in there as well. And Isaac Edwards is going to come in from the bullpen, so we're going to give him a chance to warm up. Second pitch and change of the inning here, as the Ironmen have now taken a 4-2 lead. And we'll be back in a minute on O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. So the Royals will have to turn to their third pitcher of the inning here as Isaac Edwards comes into the game. He has thrown 8 1/3 innings so far this year. Has faced 46 batters, has allowed 16 hits and 10 runs. No decisions, has a 7.56 ERA. And again, we'll inherit an unideal situation. Recap a little bit how the inning has gone as I steal Dig's book here. Mike McKay actually led off the inning with a ground out. That seems like it was ages ago. But a walk, a single, a RBI single by Jay Cook, which gave way from Josh Dennis to Jake Waugh. And since then, it has been 3 straight free passes. And the Ironmen, all told, have scored 3 runs, and they still have the bases loaded here. That's way outside for ball 1.
That sac fly last inning that Zach caught down the line, looking more and more like the right call. Let that ball drop.
I was just thinking that. And I'll tell you what, is that Garrick now warming up in the bullpen? So trying to stay loose down in the bullpen as this inning has gone on for, we got to be approaching the 25-minute mark here of this inning. And that is way outside. Again, Edwards has come in and has not been particularly close. So if you're the Ironman, you got to make the Royals throw you strikes. And there is one. So 3 balls, 1 strike now. So now Goss got to be a hitter.
Goss taking all the way. Again, you got to make sure you get Edwards into the zone here.
And that is hit hard up the middle. And that's going to be a base hit as Edwards just got a piece of it. The stop sign will be thrown up for Wenzel. So an RBI single from Zach Goss. And it is 5-2.
A little chuck and duck there by Edwards. That ball came back in a hurry.
Edwards ducking for cover there. I think he might have got a piece of it on the way by. But again, an RBI single for Goss. Another hard hit ball for Goss, by the way.
Yep.
You
Really
talk-
swinging
you
it
wanna, You
well.
want to talk about a guy being locked in.
Yep.
And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Andrew Langtang. Again, bases remain loaded with 1 out here, bottom of the 5th inning. And that is a bounder to first, and that is going to be a tough play, and that's going to be an RBI ground out for Langtang. So again, a chopper put the ball in play. Good things happen. So that'll be out number 2, but it'll also be the 5th run of the inning. So an RBI ground out there for Langtang, and it is 6-2 Ironman. So again, a little bit of a chopper. Obviously, the Royals continuing to play in with the force at home, but Willett actually had to backtrack and move a little bit towards second, so his only play was to make the 3 unassisted. So now back to the top of the order for Mike McKay as the Ironmen have hit around. That is in the dirt, and a nice block there by Brown, keeping that in front. Mawson unable to scamper home there. And that ball is in the dirt. Ball 2. I'm looking out at the scoreboard, and they have it 5-2, but it is 6-2. Correct, Mr. Dig?
It is 6. Yeah,
The Ironmen
5
have
this
scored
inning.
5 in the inning. They have not posted the Langtang RBI groundout as of yet. We'll give them benefit of the doubt here. And that's right there for strike 1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. So again, back to the top of the order. McKay here, the 10th batter of the inning, as he led it off with a 5-3, which again, what seems like ages ago at this point. And that is in the dirt. Ball 3. First base open here, but you do have Chris Keating
Very dangerous.
standing in the
there.
on-deck circle. So
Not gonna get
dangerous,
much
dangerous
easier.
times here for Isaac Edwards. And that is inside ball 4. So he will take a spin down to first, and the bases will once again be loaded.
Now batting is shortstop number 8, Chris Steve.
Bases loaded here with 2 out. And again, as we have said, at this point, the Royals have used both guys on their bench, so they have nobody else, no other players other than the DH Shane Sullivan. And that ball is outside for ball 1. Keats takes that one outside. And that ball is hit hard into right field, high and deep, and that's going to be off the wall. Keats is going to round and try to go to second, and he is going to be out going to second, so that will end the inning. Okay, so we're going to take a look here. I believe that should be 2 runs. So that will be a 2-run single for Keating. And that will end the inning as he is thrown out 9-4-6 going to second base. But the Ironmen explode here for 7 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And they will take an 8-2 lead into the 6th here on Ironman Baseball Live, brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub.
Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Our beautiful back patio is open and dogs are welcome. We even have a special O'Don's Irish Pup menu for your furry friend. Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub.
So we go to the Top of the 6th here, the Ironmen have jumped out to an 8-2 lead. Ironmen see a little bit of action over the holiday weekend. They have a 1 p.m. Sunday game live here at Ironman Field as the Alpines will make a trip north for one game. And then after that, the Ironmen will be off until a week from tonight, next Thursday, as the Royals will be back, 7:30 here, as we get into the dog days of July. Irish Festival right around the corner, Dave.
Yeah, some great surprises for the fans for that Thursday night Irish Fest game coming up.
Whoa.
Just a little hint.
Potential
Just a little hint.
Spoilers here. But, yes, so we're one more game here in June, again, Sunday, as the Alpines will be in town. Again, that's just a 1 afternoon game.
Defensive changes for the Ironmen this inning. The pinch runner, Adam Wenzel, comes in to play third base. You relieved Tyler McKay.
Thank you, Dig. That was
no problem.
That was a bang. And that is popped up in the infield. Keats and Molson. Keats steps over the bag and will make the play. So that's going to be a pop out to the shortstop. P6 if you're scoring at home. That'll be out number 1. What an intelligent conversation between the pitcher and catcher. We will spare the fans at home. That one's fouled back for strike 1. Oh, geez.
Quite the character.
The things you hear when you're in the press box here at Ironman. But Gehrig singing out to catcher Jeff Watkins. He's having a hard time seeing the signs. And Jeff with let's just, that's high and inside to Sullivan for a ball. Let's just say maybe a crude response from Watkin there, perhaps?
Yeah.
Obviously still PG-13, but,
of
but
course,
crude
yeah.
nonetheless.
Yeah.
So 1-1 here to the DH Sullivan. Again, Ironman with a 7 spot in the bottom of the 5th. Not at all aided by the Royals pitchers. I believe there was 6 walks in that inning.
5 walks by the Royals pitching staff in that half inning.
That's not ideal. Now all of a sudden 3-1 here. So the Ironman bullpen has settled. Again, we had Goss out there. We saw Julio Hernandez putting on a bit of a stretching clinic. Hale actually went down there to get himself loose. But now all's quiet here. And that's in the dirt for ball 4. So the walk to Sullivan will have a runner on with 1 out here. And that'll bring up Kyle Brown. Again, folks, hope you guys are having a fantastic Thursday night, wherever you're watching. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, greatly appreciate it. Beautiful night for a ball game here. And that's in the dirt for ball 1. I'll tell you what, Dig, first game we've had all year that, at this point of the ball game, not particularly close. Every game we've had has been a 1-run, 2-run affair.
Yeah, no, this is new territory for us up here with the Ironmen having a 6-run lead and top the 6th.
Well, I'll tell you what, and that's a grand route to second, and I'm going to finish my thought anyway, but that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. And again, I was just about to say, that you got to lock in and you got to get stuff done. I'll tell you what, that's exactly what they did. So a 4-6-3 twin killing will end the top of the 6th. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th, and it is the Ironman 8, Fredericton 2. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning here. It's going to be the 3-4-5 for the Ironman as Watkins going to lead it off. Again, Ironman with a 8-2 lead here. Maybe looking to extend it a little bit. Fresh off a 11 batter, 7-run 5th inning. Two Ironman here, bottom of the 6th. 2 runs on 2 hits. Our 6th hit by pitch of the night. As if I didn't curse that at the bottom of the 1st.
Unbelievable.
I am a different level of toxic.
Just a jinx. Just that's unfortunate.
And we talk about, you might first talked about Mike McCain numbers being twice.
Yeah,
There's been
6 total.
hit by pitch tonight. Yeah, Hebron. Big number 33. Gotta assume Zach Goss.
Big Zach Goss.
Not gonna lie. Goss, maybe.
Yeah, you'd have to say a good week of baseball so far with a chance to extend it.
This is going to be a tough play. They're going to make it. Hey, so that round out. Second. One. And again, Rick, you got a game against St. John this week. You're the Ironman. You hold on. You're 7-7. Halfway mark. I think you're right. That's a liner into right field. That's going to be trouble, and that's going to be down. A base hit for Nick Leggett, and a throw to home, and that's going to get away, which will allow the runner to advance. I'll tell you what, Miles Brito would not allow the mess that is outside of the Royals dugout right there.
Just
I'm just
too
saying.
many, both sides.
Miles
here.
Brito showed out here in the chat. There is that ball thrown in from right field, got away in a mess of bats and equipment that is outside the Royals dugout, which again, Miles wouldn't stand.
Wouldn't
for
have
that.
happened.
So that is I think that would be safe to call that a single and an error, and it is put up as an error. So that would be a single and an error for Nick Leggett. So Adam Wenzel's going to get his first trip to the plate here. He took over as a pinch runner for Tyler McKay. That's in the dirt for a ball. Took over for him in more ways than one. He's wearing his helmet. So
Yeah,
the big 37 on the back of his helmet there. So
teammates sharing,
that's
Sharing
right.
is
Sharing
caring.
is caring. That's right. That is just high for a ball. So second and third here, one out in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Ironman with an 8-2 lead.
Wenzel's still an affiliate player, plays full time with the junior team, and then whenever he has the ability, comes up with the seniors.
Mm-hmm. This is
pitch
going to
by
be
Edwards.
his 6th AB of the season. He is 1 for 5 with a run scored. Again, I don't know how that works. Is he credited with a run scored for pinch running, or is that
He does.
That is okay. Love that. Love that. And that is down inside for a ball. So Wenzel working the count here. Oh. Three balls, one strike. A little bit of a mess around with the score clock there. And that is there for strike 2, as that might be a little bit of a expanded strike zone in an 8-2 ball game.
And if you're Wheaties just looking to push something, the Royals are going to give up the run on a ground ball to the right side. So just contact here.
Yep. And that is a good piece of contact. Hard to right field, and that's actually going to be a sacrifice fly. So Wenzel gets the job done. So that'll be a sac fly to right field. The Ironman will tack another one on. It's 9-2.
Great at bat by Adam.
Great at bat. Worked himself into a full count. Hard hit ball into right field. I believe that's Munn out there still. Hard to see. I got 6 layers of net in front of me. But I believe that is Munn still in right field. He kind of came in out of the head to backtrack a little bit. So Watkin able to score easily from third. So runner at second here now with 2 out, and it's Mawson. That's in there for strike 1.
And the Ironmen tonight to the plate, showing some patience, had some really good at-bats, and are showing all the traits and characteristics of a team that seems like they might be going on a little run, Chris.
Well, and the thing is, you know what? For those of you who have watched the Ironman streams over the last 3-4 years, this current core of Ironman, not afraid to make a guy work. You know,
No.
They are not afraid to take pitches, work walks, get you to, in uncomfortable situations where you have to, go to your bullpen sooner than you would like. Again, right, Josh Dennis did not pitch bad in this ballgame.
Not at all, no.
But you get into a situation where it's the 5th inning, it's the 3rd time through the order. Like we talked about earlier in the broadcast, I mean, these guys have seen Josh Dennis a million times.
Yep.
Both when he was with Moncton and now with Fredericton. You're in a situation where you have to do something. And in this case, they get into the bullpen maybe earlier than Mark McNevin wanted to, and there's a swing and a miss. That's going to be in the dirt. That's going to be thrown down to first. So that'll be a K 2-3 to end the inning. So that'll do it. The Ironmen do tack on one on an Adam Wenzel sacrifice fly. So last kick at the can for the Fredericton Royals, and Garrick Hale coming out to finish what he started, looking for his first complete game in the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League. We'll be back with the top of the 7th inning on Ironman Baseball Live, brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub.
Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Come by and try one of our new menu favorites, the tot of the morning to you. Mayo, lettuce, tomato, egg, bacon, cheese, and 2 tater tot rings, all on a brioche bun served with home fries. How can you pass that up? We have brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. until noon. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub.
So we go to the 7th inning here, folks, and again, Garrick Hale looking to finish what he started as he comes out for his 7th inning of work. He has allowed 2 runs on 2 hits in this ballgame. The only 2 hits for the Royals, an RBI double back in the 1st inning by Corey Willett, and an Adam Esty bunt single. That is all Hale has allowed in terms of hit. He has 8 strikeouts, according to the stats man Jake Dignam here in the booth. And he will be facing, what are we, 8-9-1 here?
We are 8-9-1. Matt Munn, Jack Ryan, Adam Esty.
So again, Garrick Hale looking for his first shutout complete game in his New Brunswick Senior Baseball League career.
We'll work on the shutout. We'll get the complete
right.
game tonight. Shutout next time.
So Matt Munn's going to step in here. 9-2 Ironman here in the top of the 7th. That is on the outside part for strike 1.
Munn 0 for 2, looking both times tonight.
Okay. And just in case, Julio Hernandez is warming up still in the Ironman bullpen. And that is a number back to the mound, and that's going to be a line out. So a little soft liner back to Garrick Hale, talk about helping yourself. And just like that, 1 out in the 7th inning. And again, we talked about this last week as well. The ability for, we looked at Jamie Walls, even though, the Ironmen ended up losing that ball game. Pitch deep into it, save the bullpen. Yep. They have these stretches. You don't have to use Julio tonight if you don't need to. He's going to be ready to go Sunday with St. John in town. That allows you to push everybody else back a little bit, keeps Goss fresh.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Goss has pitched a lot here early in the season. I mean, he's already at, I think, 6 appearances for 10 and a third innings. And that is on the outside part of the plate for a strike. So Jack Ryan here with a 1-1 count.
And I think it all starts this week. Tuesday night, we can't forget Zach Newman went deep into that ball game, too.
Yeah,
Allows
absolutely.
you to have the arms for the rest of the week.
Yep. Yeah, it allows you to battle, right? You know, the Ironmen were able to go into that game. They were able to have Newman pitch. You know, I believe they used Ryland and Goss in there, I think, as well. I believe. I have to go back
I think
and look
you're
for
correct.
sure.
Yep, I think you're
But
correct.
again, right, you know, you have these games where you don't need the pen. Well, they're there when you need them. And that is a ball high. So that'll be 3-1. And again, right now you go into Sunday, you got Julio ready to go. You're going to have Goss fresh. You're going to have Ryland fresh. You know, you've got your full army ready. There's a swing and a miss there from Ryan, and it is now a full count.
Yeah, the game within the game for Kevin Bowes and Terry Leggett gets a lot easier when you have all the cards in the deck to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is what looked to be a pretty good pitch on the outside part of the plate. And that'll be ball 4. So he walks the number 9 hitter. And now we go back to the top of the order. So 4th time to the top of the order here, Esty, who again had a bunt single, one of the 2 Royals hits in this ball game. Not holding the runner on at first again.
No, at this
9-2 situation.
You're just
That is in the
counting
dirt
outs
for
if you're
ball
the
1.
Ironman.
Absolutely. You're more than willing to trade an out for a run.
And
They
if
want to
you're
run
Gary
themselves into situations.
or I should say, if you're Kevin and Terry, the Ironman coaching staff, your message to Gary before this inning is, "Hey, big guy, fill the zone up."
Yep. And that is hit down the left field line. That is a long run for Tang, and he drops it. So again, that is the second time in this game that we've seen Langtang come towards the line and overrun the ball. He was able to recover the first time. Unable to recover that time. That will go down as an error on the left fielder. So we have had 2 E7s in the ballgame, 1 on each side.
The flag not blowing as much as it was earlier in the game, but I think just a little bit of swirl may have pushed that ball out of Andrews' range.
Ball up into that night sky. Again, not making excuses for the guys, but, you know. And that ball gets away from Jeff. So that one's up and in. I believe that'll be a pass ball. Should be a pass ball. So now the Royals have runners at second and third. So now again, 9-2 ball game. Not nervous time yet.
No.
My heart rate is still very reasonable.
Yeah, if you're the Ironman, infield's back, you're taking the out at first base.
Yeah. And that ball is hit high and hard to left field. That's a long run for Langtang. He's not going to get it. So that is going to score 2. And Oliver with a 2-run double. I have to say, at this point now, you're looking towards a dugout and thinking that you probably don't want this to continue much further. Again, you're in the middle of this order, and we're going to get a visit from Terry Leggett here. And again, this is where it's a difficult dance, right? Obviously, you know, you want to try to let Garrick finish the ball game. You want him to have that feather in his cap. However, you've now seen a walk to the number 9 guy, an error, a pass ball, pretty hard hit double. You've still got some dangerous guys. You got Max Grant and Willette here. You know, we're a couple of big knocks away from a save situation.
Yeah.
So now you have to start to be like, okay, you want to have that leash and you want to try to get out of it. Again, Grant goes deep here. It's a 9-6 ball game. You're still in the driver's seat. However,
gets a little dicey at that point.
and we've talked about it. Yes, the Royals have struggled with the bats, but we know what they are capable of.
Yep, absolutely. And
that ball's in the dirt for ball 1.
we got to remember Gehrig sat for quite a while during that long, what was it, the 5th inning the Ironman batted around.
Yep.
Thrown quite a few pitches, you know, a little bit of fatigue maybe, but like you spoke to, a complete game, feather in the cap is great, but I think if you were to ask Gary right now, an Ironman win would be a
Yeah,
whole
you
lot
want.
better.
Yeah, absolutely. You play to win the game, right? Absolutely. You again, for as much as they have struggled, and we've had the statistical evidence to back it up. This is still the Fredericton Royals. They can still hit the baseball.
Oh, they can hit it with
You
the
know,
best.
they
of them,
can
for
they
sure.
can turn they can fill up the score sheet, and that's inside for a ball. The key is in this situation, you do not want to let them do that. Again, you got to play them a week from tonight as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be back, right?
Yep, absolutely.
2 balls and 1 strike here to Grant. That's down for a ball, so that'll be 3-1.
Like we were talking about last week too, with Moncton, that record 3-8 really doesn't show the talent that's on that
Yep.
ball team. And I think the same thing can be said for the stats for the Fredericton Royals.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is high and away for ball 4. So Grant gets yet another free pass. So that does bring in the double play, which the Ironmen have turned one of. And that's going to do it, actually, as Kevin Bowes is out of the dugout. So that'll do it for Garrick Hale. He will go 6 1/3, and we'll leave 2 runners on here. Again, I think they tried to give him a chance to get out here. And again, a nice little rousing, a little friendly banter between Grant and Hale on the way by. Again, they would be familiar from playing each other on the junior circuit for the games that Grant does play on the junior circuit, which is not many.
Yeah, no, almost outgrown that league if you're
Yes.
Grant at this point.
Absolutely. So the Ironmen will turn it over to their import, Julio Hernandez, here at 9-4 ball game. Hernandez has thrown 26 2/3 innings on the year already. Again, I say already, but this is the 14th game for the Ironmen. He's allowed 26 hits, 9 runs. He is 2-1 with a 1.84 ERA.
Sparkling numbers.
And let me do my math here. 2 runners on at the moment. So this would not be a save situation. If I'm not mistaken, save situation is 3 or less, or if the first 2 batters you would face would tie the game.
Correct.
So this is not a save situation for Hernandez. This is a put out the fire situation for Hernandez. Again, Hale, admirable job here for Garrick Hale. He has 4 runs on 3 hits. There was an error committed behind him here in this inning. 8 strikeouts. And he is still responsible for runners at first and second. But again, you cannot be upset with what Garrick Hale did here tonight.
No, not at all. He battled through some big innings, made some pitches when he needed to, and like we said, gave you the length to allow you to get to Julio here in the 7th inning and allow him to kind of close this thing out for you.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, you get out of a situation here, Julio could throw 6, 7, 8, 9 pitches. And I mean, he's going to be ready to go Sunday. So Hernandez is going to face Willett here. Willett does have one of the 3 Royals hits on the night. Had an RBI double back in the first inning, which feels like several hours ago.
It might have been last week.
It feels like it might have been last week. Not a long ball game here, though. Only 2 hours and about 15 minutes. Here's the first pitch from Hernandez, and that is a high, hard fastball that Willett swings through for strike 1. And a bit of a change of pace. Again, not that Hale throws slow by any stretch of the imagination. And there's a inside corner fastball for strike 2. Hernandez not messing around as he goes blazer right out of the gate here. Willett's going to step out, choke up on the bat here, and try to get something around. The 0-2 from Hernandez. The runners are going. That is a bounder up the middle. That's going to be a tough play, but Keats is going to make it. And you hear really good communication out there from Mawson to say 1-1-1. Again, the runner's going there just to try to stay out of the double play. So the Royals down to their last out here. 9-4 ball game, top of the 7th inning.
Heads up baseball by Keats and by Charlie there. Take that out. The runners on 2nd and 3rd mean nothing right now. All you're doing is counting outs, and with the fireballer on the mound.
Yep. And that is right there for ball 1. Oh, boy. Did that
He's got the fastball tonight, folks.
I don't think Dmitry Shakotko has seen many pitches that hard.
No.
And I have to feel like I pronounced that pretty well just
Hey,
then,
you've
too.
done well tonight with the
Thank you.
pronunciations.
Thank you. And that is a swing and a miss. So the Royals are down to their last strike. As Julio goes down and in with a cutter there, you gotta go high cheese here, right? High cheese for the win.
Yeah,
Sure.
no, that
0-2, 2 out here in the top of the 7th. Hernandez looking to finish it off. Rocks and fires. That is high for ball 1. Ooh, boys. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. 2 out. The Royals have runners at second and third. They trail 9-4. Hernandez has the one he likes again. Rocks and fires. And that is right there. Slider on the inside part of the plate. Hernandez instant with a punch. And the Ironmen win the game by a score of 9-4. Ball game for the Ironmen. Again, a 7-run 5th inning paces the Ironmen here tonight. Any last words, Dig? Again, this is, again, a long stretch of ball games here. Started with back-to-back games last week. You look at what they've done. They split with the Alpines. They win Tuesday night against the first-place Islanders. They win tonight, 7-7 at the halfway mark. You gotta be happy. You gotta be happy with the trajectory this team is on right now.
Oh, absolutely. 3 of the last 4, 2 really convincing wins against obviously Charlottetown Tuesday night. Now the Royals here tonight. And you know what they say, Chris? 2's a streak.
There you go. Wise words from the best color man in the business, Jake Dignam. Of course, I am Chris Jardine, voice of the Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironmen. The final score here on this episode of O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. Your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironmen 9, the Fredericton Royals 4.